Hey, so many of you who know me know this channel. I talk a lot about social issues and mostly God. So this video may be surprising, and it's like, why are you focusing on this kind of stuff? This is secular comic stuff, and I'll get to that in a second. So, what is Isom? Isom is a comic book series that is being launched by Eric July, YouTuber that goes by Young Rippa59, and he has created what's called the Rippaverse. Isom is a character by him, and it's a new comic book series. Number one is launching. You can pre-order it now. Like I said, I have no affiliate with him, but I've been watching his YouTube videos for a while. And the reason why this matters. So those of you who follow me know my channel. It's mostly about God and political, social commentary, right? But to be a follower in Jesus means we must watch the seasons. We must watch what's going on in the world to be able to address people, to talk to people, to evangelize. We're not evangelizing ourselves, right? We're not going around and just talking to Christians who are already saved. No, we have to reach out into the community. That doesn't mean we have to be corrupted by sin. But what did Jesus do? He went out and went with the sinners and broke bread with them. I'm not saying comic book readers are sinners or anything like that. I'm saying for those who may wonder why someone who talks about God a lot is talking about this is why, because it matters. Culture matters. What we see through the eye is what enters our soul. The left and globalism are going after culture and media and escapism. You know, just like they got mad when no one pays attention to them at their protests, like in Portland and all of that. Well, they want their message to be forced. They don't want you to be able to escape. They want you to listen to them and have to listen to them. Now, I've seen comments from, like I've gone on Reddit and stuff. I've seen comments from leftists saying, progress will never occur until we invade every space. This is where they're at. They're at the whole idea of by any means necessary. So what's this progress that they're talking about? It's globalism. Kids indoctrinated, and they are fiercely against Christian standards and morals and, the whole westernized culture. Do you ever wonder why the BLM website is against the nuclear family? Because they want to destroy America by any means necessary, saying we need a global government because America is racist. Now, this comic, it supports the idea that small businesses and choice matters. I mean, as of today, right now, his goal was $100,000 raised. Well, he's got like 65 days left. He's at 2.5 million, a little bit over 2.5 million as of now when this video hits. That is a big deal. And a lot of people on the left are mad. But this is good. This should shake up the big, DC Comics and Marvel and stuff. They want to push all of this stuff, but, they want to force you to watch it, and they want you to like it. They want all their comics to be sold. But not a lot of people are buying them. Now, some of them, there's outliers and stuff. Some of them are selling. But right now, if you don't know the comic book industry, what's happening is manga is beating the crap out of Western comics. And I'm here for it, Right now, One Piece is the biggest seller of all time, like 500 million. So we also need to ask, why are people being banned from mentioning a comic like this? This comic isn't political. It's not a political comment, not a conservative comic or anything like that. But the left likes to put politics into their message. And their whole thing is, we need to invade every space. We need to push this. I mean, it's bad when people... Now, here's the thing. In Reddit, I don't know if many of you know what Reddit is and all that, but the moderators there are, shall we say, extreme. They like to have their power, and it's ridiculous how much how much power they'll ban people for saying anything that they don't like. And then there are these power mods, that they get kickbacks and all of this stuff. It's really interesting. Watch YouTube Moon talks about this kind of stuff. But anyways, yeah, it's really creepy the way that Rippaverse and Isom is being banned on Reddit. They don't want this to go forward. They don't want, DC and Marvel to be topped, especially in the Western side. Now here's another thing. Right now, corporations like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, they're looking to influence culture and laws. I mean, look at Disney, right? With the Don't Say Gay bill. They called it that even though it was the Parental Rights and Education bill. Well, there's something called the ESG score. I talk about it in my other videos. ESG score, it's the Environmental Social Governance score. And it's basically BlackRock is only investing in companies who have a high ESG score. How do you get a high ESG score? You go out and you message. That's what you do. You message for the left and for globalism. And if you do that, then their investors, which, by the way, their ownership is in like $10 trillion, they have a lot of assets. I mean, they're big stakeholders in Disney, Netflix, just about everything, right? Especially banks. And this ESG score is trying to influence culture. Well, what this kind of comic does, Isom, what it does is it sends a middle finger to these places. Now, they're using politicians to try and close, look at coronavirus. You know what happened with that? They were using that to shut down small businesses and make it so that Amazon, Walmart, these big corporations that agree with their messaging flourish, but small businesses don't. We need to keep an eye on these things. And I'm telling you, Christians, do not turn a blind eye to this. Don't say, "Oh, this is not of God," and it doesn't really matter. If you want to help people find God, you have to meet them where they are. You have to be out there in the trenches. I mean, it sounds silly to say reading Batman and Spider-Man and Superman comics is in the trenches. That's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to be aware of the culture and what's going on and realize that the enemy is influencing culture. And if they influence too many people, that means those people may not accept Jesus. If you're of the world, then you're not of the Father. Well, we Christians can't just stand by and say, "Oh, they're too far gone." No, we have to try and meet them. And this is an excuse. I don't really read comics per se. I actually have the Kingstone Bible Trilogy comic. I used to read a lot of Batman. I used to like Batman. But right now, if there's comics, it's like the Adventure Bible and stuff like that. But like I said, we need to keep an eye on these, on what's going on. And I think what Eric July is doing with Isom is incredible. And he even said it's bigger than him, that this is a movement, and people are trying to stop him. Western comic creators, they're super salty that their comics and their messaging isn't being bought, and manga and things like Chainsaw Man and One Piece are beating them. I've even seen people on Reddit who praise Chainsaw Man get banned because they say, "Oh, Comicsgate." Because of Comicsgate, because your leftist messaging isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Anyways, I intended this to be a short video, but I just wanted to say out there, this kind of thing matters. We need to be focusing on small businesses. We need to be focusing on how to, and people say, "I thought you were capitalist," and stuff like that. No, this is crony capitalism. That's what this is. I'm for small businesses, and yes, corporations are fine, but if they're trying to influence culture and create a one world government and trying to control us through money and stuff, that's not okay. And I'm not for Democrats, Republicans, or anything like that. I'm above that. I'm a conservative. I'm not necessarily, like one party or the other. I'm actually registered as an independent. But anyways, I just wanted to let you all know that. Keep an eye on this, because this could become bigger. Right now, there's some leftist outlets talking about it, and whining about it. But even people like Fox News and all that, they're talking about it, how this is big, because this is like a slap in the face to, this is counterculture. Yes, now conservatives are counterculture. Look at the left. The left has the media, Hollywood, most of the big corporations. I mean, conservative values are now become counterculture. Anyways, I just wanted to let you all know that, and if something else big happens, I'll let you know of that as well. Thank you for following me, and not really in this for the money. I just want to get the message out there, even with my small little channel. But thanks everyone for listening. God bless.